Wow. Listen up, Earth Angels. You've been crafted and fine tuned, and now you're ready to express. The show has just begun. The beautiful symphony, cosmic symphony, has just begun. Wow. We've only just begun to live. Woo! I was reminded of this. I got this beautiful a message from my girl Jadina. Go check her out on YouTube. She's another beautiful, brilliant projector like myself, and she is just like she gets the message. Man, I love the way she communicates what comes to her. Okay, so she gave me this analogy of a violin. Beautiful music will not come until the violin is created, all right? So it starts out as a tree and then it's like hacked off, and now you're just this piece of wood, and you are cut down even further. They take like something abrasive and they sand you down and they fix you and they mold you and they like blah, blah, blah. That's you up until now. All your past life, the struggles, the learning, the things that cut you down, the abrasiveness, the friction, the sandpaper, the environments that made you feel like you were being sanded down, you were being whittled down. That was crafting you. You were being crafted into this like beautiful violin, okay? And they picked like you're made of the most brilliant cosmic stardust, and all of the difficulty that you went through, the struggle, the opposition, the resistance, that was carving you. So there was like abrasiveness. People were like abrasive and just like whittling you down and chopping you up, like piercing holes in you. And that was shaping you into this beautiful violin, okay? And I'm feeling like in the last year or so, you have been fine tuning, okay? Now that you have been crafted, you've been shaped by all of these experiences, these difficulties that you've been through. Now you've been fine tuning. You've been making little tweaks to adjust yourself, making little adjustments. Maybe you've been, like just like pulling the strings tighter. But there's actually a thing of over tuning. You can pull the strings too tight and then they snap. Over tuning starts to degrade the sound quality. All right. So you're at this point now where you have, been honed down, you've been carved, you're this beautiful violin, you've been making little adjustments to fine tune yourself. And now, babe, you're a beautiful violin and you're playing. You're just starting to express. And, you expressed a little bit and then you tweaked it. You kept tuning it, right? You want to make sure the sound is good. The sound is able to express freely. But now you're at this point where you're done tweaking. Your sound is perfect. Your pitch is perfect. And now the symphony has begun. Wow, you've been carved and crafted and created. That is the beginning of your story. It's like the prologue. Now the story really gets going. Now the show really starts. Ooh, it's like if you've been to, an orchestra, like you are the first chair violin, you're the soloist, and everyone is so impressed by how beautifully formed you are and shiny you are. All of that friction, all of that abrasion, that sandpapering has just polished you beautifully. And now you're just like glimmering and glowing. You have these beautiful carvings. I feel like you maybe have tattoos and stuff because like you're not only well made, you are beautiful. You look good, baby. You're not just, beautiful on the inside, well made, well constructed. You also look good on the outside, okay? And so everyone is just seeing you gleaming, and they haven't even heard you play yet, okay? They've heard you maybe go, try to like test the sound, make sure the sound is coming out. And now everything gets quiet, and like everyone's going on your count. So you start the first note, and then the woodwinds come in, and the horns come in, and the percussion comes in, and suddenly this symphony is going around you. Ah, Powerful. Powerful. So brilliant. And I feel like, yeah, like you went from, you were in this first prologue, in this preface, you were, creating yourself. And now you've been created. You're this beautiful, polished, shiny, brilliant violin, this brilliant instrument. And now you're expressing. Ooh, and maybe you're feeling like you're not ready yet. You're not ready. And I said this yesterday, it's the Dunning-Kruger effect, okay? The Dunning-Kruger effect is people who are novices, who are less skilled at something, assume that they are more skilled at something. Whereas somebody who is an expert is very skilled at something. They know that there is still more stuff they could learn, and so they think they are less skilled. And now most people are walking around out here, the first part of that equation, okay? They are, they don't know what they're doing. They're not very skilled. They haven't done the work. They haven't been crafted. They haven't been forged in the fire like you. But they out here thinking they're brilliant, thinking they're so gosh darn smart because they got one little degree or because somebody said that they were like so smart once. And you're out here going, oh, well, I gotta like learn one more thing. I gotta, regulate my nervous system more. I have to practice something. I have to get something else. I have to like correct my look. You're over tuning yourself now. You're the latter half of the Dunning-Kruger effect. You are highly skilled, expertly. All of your experiences, you have learned these powerful lessons, and now you know it. You're the teacher. You're the master. So your work is to not like gaslight yourself like, oh, I don't know enough. I got to keep learning. I got to keep preparing. You're ready. You're ready to express. And I feel like we're in, in Sister Act 2, okay? One of my favorite movies, excellent film, Oscar snubbed. You're in Sister Act 2 and, Whoopi Goldberg, who I think God source, the universe is Whoopi Goldberg in this analogy, okay? So Whoopi Goldberg comes, she sees you're in this like underfunded school, everyone else has given up on you, so you're just like doing whatever you want, you're just kind of going through life. And finally, Whoopi's like, actually, let me get you organized, okay? Like, if you want to be somebody, you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. And so now Whoopi is like, you know what? I think you guys are going to be an amazing choir. You are great at making music. You're here to express. And you're like, I don't know, man. And suddenly though, you're at your first performance and you're the soloist. And so you're like that kid in Sister Act 2 who's like, okay, the music starts and he's like, oh, happy day. And everyone around you is like, oh, happy day. And you're like, oh, happy day. And everyone is like, oh, happy day. And you're like, when Jesus washed. You're squeaking. You're like, your breath is tight. And everyone's like, when Jesus washed. You go, Jesus washed. When Jesus washed. Jesus washed, when Jesus washed my sins away. And Whoopi, God's spirit, is like, oh my God, what's happening? You're a beautiful crafted instrument. We've been through, let's go back to the basics. You know how to do this, okay? Hold on, let's relax, okay? Let's just get it out. La, 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 la. And you're like, right, I do know this. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. And I feel like that's been you in the last couple of months, couple of weeks. You've been realizing you got this second wind. You've gotten all these messages that are like, you're ready. You know how to do this. You're perfect. You're the soloist for a reason, okay? You just got to open your mouth. You just got to trust yourself, okay? And so after that, Whoopi, spirit, God, the universe is like, okay, come on. La, 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 la. And you're like, la, 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 la. Oh, happy day. Oof. And now you're a little smoother, right? You got a little bit more confidence, And as you keep going, like everyone else sees, like, yeah, they're getting it. Like, when Jesus washed, when Jesus washed, when Jesus washed my sins away. And God's spirit universe, Whoopi Goldberg, Dolores Van Cartier, she's like, let's try it one more time. La 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 la. And you give like, you really sing from the diaphragm. You like let your belly expand and you're like, la 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 la. And so now you're finally ready to be like, he taught me how, oh, he taught me how to wash, to fight and pray. Woo! You're so confident now that you are vocalizing. You're not just happy, you're like walking around, oh yeah, you know, every day, oh yeah. And even Whoopi is like, oh my God, holy shit. Spirit is like, damn, I didn't even know that could go. And like, then you're like, the next verse, this is what's like, you're in this energy and you're expressing now. You don't care if you feel stupid. You don't care if you're uncomfortable. You don't even feel uncomfortable. You're just letting the song come through you. You are this beautifully crafted instrument. You have been fine-tuned. You have been encouraged. You have practiced. And now you're just expressing. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Yeah. When Jesus washed, when Jesus washed, when my Jesus washed, when Jesus washed, when Jesus, no, I'm kidding. I can't hit it. I can't hit that note just yet, but that's okay. The show has only just begun. And maybe that is what this next period is about. You are learning that like, you actually can hit that whisper register. Now you're exploring what your instrument can do. You can keep a beat, you can harmonize, you can crescendo, you can project. All the religious figures are like, whoa, what? Oh my goodness, oh my gosh. You're like blowing their mind. They have never experienced spirit expressing like it's coming through you. But they like it. They freaking like it, baby. And they don't even care if you can't hit that whisper register note. You're like, you know, when Jesus washed. And you know the actual note is like an octave higher than that. But you're just getting started. So it's okay. You know that you are an expert. You're brilliant. You can get people on their feet. You are airbending out here. The words you speak, the, energy you exude, you express, activates people. It electrifies them. It gets them on their feet. It gets them moving. They haven't moved like this before. In this setting, it feels weird. It feels scary, but they love it. They freaking love it though, And so now you get to recognize that your story has just begun. All that stuff before, the uncertainty, the crafting, the being beaten down, the nobody believing in you, that's the prologue, the preface. Now the book starts. Now the symphony begins. Now the epic movie can begin, and you're the main character. You're first chair. You're the soloist. And so everyone is going to move, expand, be moved, accommodate you. Wow. And don't be too hard on yourself if you are still feeling comfortable in the first line of Oh Happy Day, right? If you're still like, oh, happy day, there's something beautiful and, innocent and poignant and precious about just beginning, about being unsure, about being a novice. There's something beautiful about that period. When you're looking back on your life and everyone else recognizes you as one of the greats, you're going to look back wistfully on this period and be like, oh, I didn't know anything then. I didn't know how it was going to happen. And I only had like a dream and a little bit of belief in myself, The rest of myself was like, no, bitch, you can't do it. But that's all you need. Just a little bit of hope. And you keep looking for it. You find people like me. You listen closely in songs and movies, in nature, in the interactions you have, and you're like, wow, this is all part of the story, and I'm the main character. This is so brilliantly unfolding. Ooh, I can't wait to see what happens next. Because you know the show has just begun. You haven't even developed your whisper register yet. Ah! You don't even know what you can do. Oh my God, it's so exciting. Because even in Sister Act, I think the oh happy day that kind of happens in like the middle, right before they start to like, okay, now we know we're good, and now we got a little training montage of like, okay, everyone, la 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 la, and like then they get to the real part, which is the big competition. All right, and so that's coming. And it's not even a competition because you know in Sister Act the kids are gonna win. All right, the scrappy, rags to riches Cinderella story is a story that the universe likes to see. Okay, we like to see David triumphing over Goliath. We like to see bad news bears. We like to see like Cinderella. We like to see someone have humble beginnings, not believe it. Everyone counts them out, and then it's like a dark horse. No one sees them coming, and then they win the race. They blow everyone else out of the water. You hit that note in the whisper register, and everyone's like, even Whoopi is like, whoop, damn, girl, powerful. Ooh. So yeah, I'm talking to my artists, my speakers, my singers, my writers. I feel like you are someone who is like, expanding our capacity to understand what's possible. So this isn't just like your typical boring old symphony. You've got like weird instruments. You're playing your instruments differently. Like you think you're supposed to do it with like a bow, but you're like plucking it, or like using your teeth. You're doing it in a way that like no one has ever seen. And it's like creating this crazy sound. I went to a Kamasi Washington concert, and like he like had these people, they had like these upright basses and these cellos, and they were like playing it like an electric guitar. It was crazy. I didn't think that kind of music could come out of the instruments they had, but they showed me. And that was a couple of years ago, okay? So you have evolved our understanding of what's possible even farther. I was telling Billy this the other day after the Knicks won. Billy's from Brooklyn, and he was really excited. Though I've never heard him talk about the Knicks before, but that's okay. Everyone else was like, "Whoa, the Knicks won," and I feel like that's the time that we're in now. What we thought was impossible is not only very possible, very plausible, very likely. It's normal. Things we used to think were impossible are normal now. Wow. Oh, happy day. And so you got to know, let it be easy for you, okay? Just let yourself sing. Let yourself release. Let what wants to come through you come through. Don't you be judging it. Don't you act like, your grade school teachers or your parents or the bullies or your coworkers who are like, I don't know. That's not your job. Your job is to create the safe space for you to express whatever that looks like. Make it messy. Make it imperfect. Recognize that the perfection is in the imperfection. We're getting out of this era of, facades and illusions, and people say things but do other things, and we never demand integrity. That's not happening now. Now people are thirsty for authenticity. They're thirsty for a little integrity, for some genuineness. And that's why they love you. That's why they love the uniqueness of your voice. They love your signature kind of way of writing. They love your very particular way of connecting the dots and, putting things that like no one else saw it that way, and you like linked it and made it into something more beautiful. Powerful. Brilliant, darlings. Brilliant, right? I think I said what I wanted to say, my loves. But isn't that such a beautiful analogy? I think we spend so much time thinking that our whole story is in the creating of self. It's all in the, like, the being cut down, being sandpapered, the being tuned, the being stretched, the, practicing, the developing. But you're done. You're finished. You're completed. And it's so perfect. It's so artful. It's brilliantly. You've been crafted, not just slapped together, You are whole. You are brilliant. And so now we are in the story. This is the story. All that other stuff, I know it seems like it might have been years of struggle and of being, sanded down and whittled down, and you felt like that was all there is. But now you're a beautiful, brilliant violin, perfectly tuned, perfect pitch. And you're even using it differently than the masters taught you. And so now, this is where the story begins. This is where the show begins. And it's starting on your cue. And don't worry if you start kind of timid and, soft. We love a crescendo. We love a symphony with, what do you call them? Not chapters, but like, I don't know, stanzas, phrases. I don't know. There's a particular word. But we love something that's not one note throughout the whole. It just starts blaring and like it blares through the end. Like, no. We want a little bit of, artfulness. We want a little bit of finesse. We want a little bit of, build up. Hot. So yeah, do that. We're excited to watch you. We're excited to watch you express. We know you're just getting started. You don't have to caveat it and be like, oh, well, this is my first time. I don't care about all that. I'm excited to see your journey. We're so excited to look back and see how far you've come. But you got to start, okay? You got to just express. You got to trust me that you sound so beautiful. You sound so unique. I know some people are still getting used to the sound of your voice. You're maybe used to being like, oh, I hate hearing the sound of my voice. That's just because you haven't gotten used to it. Start thinking of your voice, your artistic expression, your instrument as a new friend that you're getting to know. You wouldn't be like, oh, they're really cool and unique and interesting, but like their voice is weird. No, you just think their voice is unique, iconic, okay? I'm sure, like, what's his name? Morgan Freeman. He's got a unique voice, right? What's that other guy's name? Who played Darth Vader? James Earl Jones. Lots of Black men with unique voices, okay? So gain some power from that. We love an iconic voice, someone who we can imitate, and people will be like, oh my God, that's that person. That's Earth Angel. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So get to know your voice, get to know your expression like a new friend, like a new baby, if that's a better analogy for you. You're going to be delicate with it. You're going to be so enchanted by it. You're going to be like, I wonder what this like beautiful thing can do. All right. I've delivered the message. Isn't this such a beautiful outfit? Got this from my friend Unique. Oh, love. So anyway, you've shifted from creating the self to expressing the self. And you don't put a cap on the expression. You let yourself be free with that. The creating phase was a little more regimented, a little bit more restrictive, and you did that so now that you can express fully. You can use your instrument in ways we've never seen before. That's what we're waiting for, actually. We're excited for you to show us how it's done. I can't wait to see how this ends. I can't wait to see how this turns out. All right, darling. I've delivered the message. Let me know what you think, okay? Like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you, Earth Angels, tomorrow. Love you so much.